Hello, I'm Kyle Bradshaw from Nelson Rigg, and today I'm going to show you the 6 perfect tail bags for the back of your Moto Morini X-Cape 650. Yes, you might only see 5 tail bags sitting here on the seat of the motorcycle, but this right here is also a backpack tail bag. When you get to where you're going, you wear it as a backpack, but when you're on the motorcycle, you can lay it flat and strap into these 4 corners and hold that down to the tail section of the bike as well. That there is our 6th tail bag, but we will dig into that in a future episode, all the features and benefits of that neat piece there. Today we're going to focus on these 5 pieces. These 2 here are Hurricane tail bags. We've got a 12-liter and a 28-liter bag. And over here with the Trails End tail bags, we've got 3 different sizes, starting here at 5.5 liters and going up to just over 30 liters here at the bottom. Now the neat part about these lower 2 Trails End pieces, the Adventure and the Dual Sport, is the fact that they also have expansion. So you have another almost 3 inches of expansion for each of these bags, making this lower bag just several liters larger than the 28-liter Hurricane. Now that expansion that I just spoke about is the biggest differentiator between the function of these 2 bags. The other biggest thing is going to be waterproof versus water resistant. The UltraMax material that the Trails End bags is made out of is a waterproof material. But anywhere there's a stitch seam or some sewing, you're going to be able to have water that's going to seep down through each of those puncture marks, eventually allowing the gear inside these bags to get wet. Now, if you're just riding through a quick storm, there's no need to worry. You're going to have perfectly dry contents. But if these bags are sitting out in the elements overnight or for an entire day of riding, you're probably going to have some soggy contents unless you put our optional rain cover over the top. Now, we have rain covers on our website for sale for these bags. They're pretty inexpensive, and they simply slip right over the top, giving you waterproof protection. Now, the Hurricane bags are made out of a super durable tarpaulin PVC material. It's going to be 100% waterproof. Now we have a water-resistant zipper that goes around the edge of the bag as well, and then we have this neoprene flap that goes down over the top of that. Riding in the rain, you can rest assured that your contents are going to be completely dry inside a Hurricane tail bag. Now when it comes to installation, it is extremely simple. We have 4 tension lock buckles, 1 at each corner that have been riveted into the bag. Again, installation is extremely easy. You can go down through any hard part of the motorcycle. If you have a luggage rack such as this one, you can go directly through the holes in the luggage rack and then back up through your tension lock buckle. You're going to want to make sure that you install each of these straps loosely to begin with. And then after you have everything dialed in, you come back and give everything a nice little snug up. Now once you have all 4 of your straps nice and snug, we're going to go ahead and take the strap, we're going to roll it back on itself and tuck it into the elastic strap keeper. This here is one feature that most people overlook. They don't know what that little strap is for, so they end up tying these straps all over the place. But we do include a provision that allows you to have strap management here on the back of your tail bag. Again, any hard part of the motorcycle you can secure these bags to. Super easy on and off. Now, if you're going to attach this to a pillion seat of a motorcycle, you can do that as well. What I do then is I actually take these straps and I crisscross them underneath and bring one to the other. That will allow you to affix this to the pillion seat of your motorcycle as a fixed object. And then with that seat locked into place, it's almost locked onto your motorcycle. No one can actually release those buckles and slide the bag off of your motorcycle. Now speaking of security, each of the zippers for the main compartment of the bags feature a luggage lock compatible zipper. You can put a luggage lock on each of these and keep the honest. Now what I recommend when locking up a tail bag is you throw your rain cover on over the top. If there's no lock on there, people aren't going to assume that you have anything valuable in there. But if you're going to go through the effort to lock the tail bag, they're going to assume that there's something valuable inside that tail bag, and therefore I throw a rain cover over the top. The lock disappears, and it's just one other level of added security. Now on the inside of each of these tail bags, you're going to notice an X-strap. That X-strap is extremely important for keeping the gear that you have in this bag tied to the bottom of the bag. If you don't do that and you're riding off-road, your contents are going to bounce around like a BB in a boxcar back there, and you're going to have a mess if you have liquids, foods, or things of that nature stored inside your tail bag. And then at the top of each of these lids, we have a nice zippered compartment. Those pockets are extremely convenient for keeping smaller items tucked up and out of the way and not rolling around down at the base of the bag. Now the Trails End tail bags here that are made out of our UltraMax material are going to stay black for the duration of your ownership. That is part of our lifetime warranty. That's right, all of the Nelson Rigg and Rigg Your Adventure luggage products feature a lifetime warranty. They're not going to fade, they're not going to fail, and if they do, we take care of it and we send you a new bag. That warranty process is extremely simple, but we believe that you will never have to put it to its test. Another feature that all of these tail bags have is the MOLLE panel here at the top. This MOLLE panel is great for attaching first aid kits, fuel bottles, or anything else that you would like to put on the top of your tail bag. Additionally, you're going to notice D-rings at each of the four corners. That will actually allow you to tie tie-down straps, like our Rigg strap, to those D-rings, and that will allow you to hold contents that are not MOLLE compatible on top of your bag. Now, in carrying these bags loaded out to your motorcycle, we have a nice carry handle right here at the very top of each of these bags. Now you're going to notice the bottom of all of these bags have an anti-scratch, non-slip material. This is going to be perfect for sitting on the back seat or the rear luggage rack of any motorcycle. Another very popular feature of the adventure versions of these tail bags is the fact that they can accept or they fit a full face helmet. Here on the Hurricane version, you have to lay the helmet on its side, but in the Trails End version, that expansion allows you to set your helmet directly down in, zip it closed, and you have a protective place to put your helmet when you step away from the motorcycle. Now I'm going to go ahead and swap each of these tail bags out, one for the other, so you can see just what that bag looks like on the back of this Moto Morini X-Cape 650. So starting here with the Trails End Adventure tail bag, you can see here that it is expanded. Lots of expansion you get when this bag is deployed. And you can see we have our full face helmet sitting perfectly flat here at the base of the bag. We got room around it to put sweatshirts, mid layers, or whatever else you have inside the bag. So the helmet doesn't really take up the entire space. And when not needed, you can collapse the bag down and pull our zipper all the way around, and then you have a nice, stealthy looking tail bag on the back of your motorcycle. Now moving from the Trails End Adventure to the Trails End Dual Sport, this here is going to be the size difference that you're going to have in the overall footprint on the back of the motorcycle. And this is what the tail bag looks like in its compressed format. And then with a quick zip all the way around the bag, we can lift up, and this is the bag in its expanded format. I don't know if it's worth mentioning or not, but in the compressed format is pretty much how I run this bag the majority of the time. I can fit my tubes, my toolkit, all of my daily essentials inside this bag. And then when I get to where I'm going for the night before I go settle down, I can hit this expansion zipper, pop it up, and have enough room for a 6-pack and the food that I'll be cooking for that night's dinner. Now the Trails End Lite tail bag is going to be 1.5 liters smaller than that of the Dual Sport. Now the biggest difference is this guy here expands up to just over 10 liters. So 6.5 as it sits, expands up to almost 11. This guy here does not feature expansion. It's 5.5 liters as it sits, but this here is a look at the size that you get with the Trails End Lite. Now swapping out the Trails End Lite for the Hurricane Dual Sport tail bag, you're going to notice that the footprint of the Hurricane Dual Sport tail bag has the same exact footprint as the Trails End version. The difference is going to be the expansion. So as you can see, we're about 1 inch different in overall height in the compressed format. But it is when this Trails End bag gets expanded where the difference really becomes apparent. That extra just over 1 liter of storage is definitely beneficial when you're out there in the wild and need a little bit of extra space inside your tail bag. Now moving from the Dual Sport to the Adventure tail bag, you're going to notice a large difference. We've got 12 liters of storage on this guy right here and 28 liters of storage here for the Adventure. Now just recently had a customer ask why this one says it measures 27.7 and this one says it's 28, but this one has an overall larger structure. Well, I've actually recently done the test here on the Trails End Adventure and found that it holds 33 liters of gear, where this one here holds 28. As you can see, there is a pretty decent expansion difference in the overall height of the Hurricane Adventure versus the Trails End. Now, as you can see, the helmet does stick up a little bit higher than the actual top of this bag. Now, with the helmet in the bag, you can hold the edges down on both sides all the way around using your thumb to push in the flashing there. And you can fit a full face helmet inside the Hurricane tail bag. Now, we've tested this up to a size large in the Arai Defiant. All helmet shapes and sizes are different, so your helmet might be a little bigger or smaller, and you may or may not be able to get it into this bag. So if you're looking to put a helmet inside your tail bag, I would highly recommend the Trails End version of our rear tail bags. And there you have it, folks, 5 beautiful tail bags that work perfectly on your Moto Morini X-Cape 650. If you're looking for expansion, the Trails End line absolutely cannot be beat. Down here currently we have a full face helmet and 2 mid layers. We have our full daily riding gear in this guy here with a 6-pack and a stake up at the top. And then of course daily essentials for the Trails End Lite. Over here we have the Hurricane Suite in both 28 liters and 12 liters depending on what size you need. And all of these pieces, please remember, feature our lifetime warranty. Now if you need more modular or portable storage for the back of your bike, next up, we're going to talk about the Hurricane Backpack Tail Pack. Yes, it straps down like these tail bags do when you're on the motorcycle, and then when you're off, it turns into a backpack that you can take out to wherever the journey takes you. I'm Carl Bradshaw. Thanks for watching. Till next time, take care and ride safe out there.